Philadelphia Eagles. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16.
Green 80. Green is set.
Throwing on first down is Bortles. He can't avoid the pressure. Redskins get there. Tim Williams able to drop him for a loss of 4. That's called setting the tone right away.
It certainly is, and it lets you know just how important communication is amongst the offensive line. They talk about it all the time, knowing each other's moves. You've got to be coordinated and in sync. Otherwise, the quarterback gets hit.
First carry for James Conner, and he'll find some space up to about the 25. The big nose tackle, Danny Shelton, there to swallow him up.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. That's taken on the 20. Now a hit and a loose football. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. Was hoping to make a play. Turn with his speed. Instead, he makes a play for the other side.
Yeah, and how many times have we heard coaches say, you know, sometimes it's not really about those X's and O's we draw up. It's about those Jimmies and Joes. And when you have a punt returner, he's one of those Jimmies and Joes, one of the best athletes. 73. He's unable to make the play that they were seeking, though.
Check. Rush it. Lucy.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through.
Here we go.
Didn't happen on that play.
6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback that has to slide and find open space to throw.
Right here. Green 80.
Right back to him on first down. And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line.
Here we go.
7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up 2nd down. Now they'll throw it. Bortles toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
Brandon, some of those windows to throw the football that exist when you're between the 20s, they don't exist when you're this close to the goal line. But as a former DB, I liked it closer to the goal line. Tighter windows made it easier to cover people, actually.
Check. Green 80. Green and check.
Bortles now on 3rd and goal. And this is going to be incomplete.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield, but when push came to shove, they stood their ground, and now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
And he pushed it. Pushed it from short distance. Wide right. It's no good. And this will remain a scoreless game. So we've seen these be tricky from time to time. You know, you've almost got to cut the ball to make it go through. And this time he cut it a little too much, and he sliced it.
Yeah, and he'll tell you, no excuses on this one. It's a kick every NFL kicker should be able to make in his sleep. But your word was definitely correct. He sliced that one, and he'll miss it wide to the right.
They start on the ground with Elliott. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. A gain of 32 that time.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock the defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll run with Elliott, and he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
Keep playing hard, fellas. All right. Woo! Let's get it. Gun, gun! Gun, gun!
Allen from the gun on 3rd down. He's going to wind up and air it out. This is caught. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. A big play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Redskins have taken a first-quarter lead. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. Zerline out now to kick this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The Eagles offense back out onto the field. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
77.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out? A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Mike 55, Mike 55. Hey, eat. Omaha. Green is up.
On play action, it's Bortles. And a quick throw here, that's